Hey folks, Aman here from daoStar, where we build standards and public infrastructure for DAOs. This is the second video in the EIP 4824 video series created by the daoStar team. And in this video, we'll be speaking about how your DAO can go about adopting EIP 4824. In the previous video, we spoke about the rationale behind the standard, so feel free to check it out if you haven't already. Before we jump into the details, know that you can read the standard anytime at daostar.one/EIP or by going to the official eips.ethereum.org website. To generate a DAO URI for your DAO, you can utilize the register service on daostar's website. All contract addresses related to EIP 4824 are available on our GitHub. And feel free to reach out to me, Johnny Pirovich, or Joshua Tan at any time regarding questions or assistance. I'm also going to link one additional doc that is not mentioned here to this Loom video. It is a written walkthrough on how your DAO can approach EIP 4024. So feel free to check that out as well. With that out of the way, let's get into this video. So in the previous video, we had a look at how EIP 4824 works on a very high level. Let us start from there. So EIP 4024 adoption basically goes like this. A DAO needs to create a DAO URI according to the standard defined by EIP 4024. Once it creates a DAO URI, it needs to publish it. Once a DAO URI is published, that it gives easy access to the DAO's information for different stakeholders, and it increases the interoperability of the DAO ecosystem as it allows the creation of other standards and public infrastructure on top of it. So when you look at this diagram, you'll understand that EAP 4824 adoption is basically two main steps. The first step is creating a DAO URI, and the second step is publishing it. So let's go step by step. Step one, creating a DAO URI. Before we actually create a DAO URI, which we'll do in a few minutes, let me refresh your memory of what DAO URIs are. So the IPFS files that you see here, these three files stored on IPFS, these are real DAO URIs stored by 1inch, Shapeshift, and Unlock protocol when they adopted EIP 4824. Now, when we visit these files, for example, to Shapeshift's 1inch DAO URI, you can see that DAO URI returns to me a JSON object in a particular schema. And the schema contains context, it has type, it has description, it has a few sub URIs that returns to me the members, proposals, and governance address of 1inch. We've discussed this in detail in the previous video, so feel free to check it out if you need a refresher. And it's the same case with other DAO URIs as well. All of them follow the schema defined by EIP 4024. So to create a similar DAO URI for your DAO, all you need to do is visit daostar.org/register. Once you visit our website and go to the register page, you'll be greeted with a form that looks like this. So start by selecting the framework, let's say Snapshot. Once you've chosen the framework, enter the ENS address of your DAO. For example, let's say this is 1inch.eth. Now you'll notice that as I enter the DAO's ENS name, this could be anything. This form auto-populates a members URI and a proposals URI for me. This makes things very easy. For example, if I go to this members URI that the form gives me, I can see that it returns to me a list of addresses. I can add this next cursor to this list of address and it would give me the next set of address until I have all the members of 1inch. Similarly, this proposals URI would give me a list of all proposals of 1inch.eth. The other fields are empty and it is for you to fill. So I would fill the name as 1inch, description would be something, and other sub URIs you need to fill on your own. Now, you might have a separate definition for a members URI. So it is not mandatory that you utilize the members URI auto-populated by this form. You can delete it and enter a members URI of your choice. And once you do this, all you need to do is click on register. Register is a bit misleading, but it does not really register your DAO anywhere. It does not really store your DAO's information anywhere. All this form does is create a DAO URI for your DAO. And this is the DAO URI that we just created. It also gives me a bunch of other information, including an address, a salt, and a function. We'll get into the other stuff later on, but to check out this DAO URI, let me go to this link and show you what we just created. You can see that it returns to me a JSON object. The name of the DAO is 1inch as we described. The description is this is a demo as we entered. I had replaced the members URI with something else, so it gives me the URL that I inputted. And some of the other sub URIs are empty because I left them empty. So, in essence, it is actually quite easy to create a DAO URI using this form. Now that we have this, let us get into a little bit more detail. So, as you may have noticed, sub URIs can be dynamic. Proposals URI will return to you an up to date list of proposals. Members URI will return to you an up to date list of members of the DAO. So, when the data changes, like when a new proposal gets added to the DAO or when a new member joins or leaves the DAO, you do not need to update the DAO URI. You need to update the DAO URI only when static information changes. For example, if you guys decide to change the name of the DAO or how the DAO operates, which changes the description of the DAO, only in that case do you need to update the DAO URI. Otherwise, DAO URIs can remain constant and they would still serve up to date information about the DAO. The second point that I want to bring up is a point about data. So you are feel free to interpret the schema as you wish. For example, members URI or what a member constitutes might differ from DAO to DAO. Uh, the members URI we populate is a list of voters. So for you, if that definition is a list of token holders or a list of people who have delegated tokens or a list of addresses that have, I don't know, that possess an NFT, so feel free to use that definition of your member and construct a members URI. Similarly for all the other data. Now you're also free to add more data to the DAO URI. For example, if you'd like to add a list of protocol parameters or trusted service providers of your DAO to the DAO URI, then you can also do that. So feel free to own the DAO URI and customize it as you wish. The standard only defines what a minimum viable DAO URI should look like. The third point is DAOstar can help you in building a DAO URI. We've already worked with quite a few DAOs, and each has had different requirements when it comes to their DAO URI. So if you are stuck at some place or would like some assistance in creating your DAO URI, feel free to reach out to us, and we are here to help you. So we have a DAO URI. You can create it using the daoStar webpage. You can also utilize your own method for creating a DAO URI. The only requirement is that it should return to you a JSON object. As long as that condition is satisfied and as long as the JSON object follows the schema defined by the standard, you can basically create it any way you wish.